Forgot to turn up the volume. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hopefully everybody is doing well. We're going to be doing the next couple of Songwriting Simplified shows. We're still going to be doing about songwriting, but we're going to kind of dig a little deeper into Christmas songs. What makes a Christmas song? Is it the chords? Or if you guys have any other questions too, please feel free to ask. It's not just all about Christmas. So if you guys have any other questions about songwriting or maybe some Studio One questions, feel free. But we're going to try to focus a little bit on I wish I had a beard. I haven't shaved, so I'm like all itchy. Help. All right, so we're going to bust Johnny in here in a few seconds here. I got to set up for that. Yeah, I got a little bit of a late start. Hey, we're going to finally do the estate sale for my mom's place this weekend and next weekend. So, very cool. All right, let's see. What do we have going on here? I'm noticing, yeah, so somebody has said I can't. Somebody says I can't see the email address. Oh, I see. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know why we can't see the email address. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Let's go to our Songwriting Simplified room and our twinkling Christmas tree and see if we can get Johnny in here. Here we go. Dum, da-dum, dum. Why is it not dialing? There it goes. Boom, boom, boom. Mr. Lipsham. I don't hear you yet, Johnny.
Oh, hello. I was muted.
Yes, and I've got to change my microphone, I assume.
Yeah, you need to put your mic on.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Because at the moment it sounds like you're in a bathroom.
Yes, and I'm not.
Actually, it sounds like you're swimming in the
bathroom. There we go. How's that?
That's perfect.
All right. Very good. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas. All right. Very cool. I was able to...
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for that, sir. There we go. I was able to throw together some quick backgrounds. These are from Google Pics for the background. I like to picture the twinkling tree. And everybody asks me, where do you get all of these GIFs and stuff? I literally just go to Google Pics, and if I want something to be moving, like I typed in Christmas background GIF, and I came up with that nice little Christmas tree in the background there. Actually, I really like this one because the HST logo fit right in the middle.
There you go.
It was perfect.
That will do it.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect. All right, there we go. So, oh, heck, we've already got 20 people in here. Very cool. So what we're going to talk about, I mean, we're going to stick with songwriting, of course, and we'll also take any Studio One questions you have. But what we're going to try to take a look at here is Christmas chord changes. What makes a Christmas song? Is there a rule to it? Of course, there isn't. You can, use the... what is it? I've heard some people actually write Christmas songs to the Death March. So you can write a Christmas song to anything, but
you mean
yeah, here he goes. Exactly. The keyboard isn't coming through the broadcast though.
Oh, that's because that was also muted.
Oh well. Go ahead. There we go. The death march. Just
be my death march. I'm going to make everybody like sprint with the coffin going, oh, shit.
I can just picture that. Wait, slow it down. What do we got here? All right, cool. So I suppose we can
or make them start nice and slow and then gradually speed up,
there you go.
Greek style.
Yeah. Or you can actually just put the Benny Hill theme behind you and do it that way. Anyway,
it's just won't be that easy.
Exactly. All right, we're down to 16 people. I think we drove some away.
Yeah,
that's okay. Sorry about that. All right, so Johnny, so the question as it stands is, besides the lyrics, what does make a Christmas song? And don't say jingle bells. I mean, you can have the jingle bells in there. Although I do have to say, I have to post, my daughter had a Christmas concert where she was the percussionist in her orchestra. And they did a percussion song. It was all with the percussion and the vibes and things like that. It was the most, it totally stole the show because it was all percussion, full drum kit, and all the percussion instruments, everything from timpani drums to jingle bells. That's what reminded me of it. And it was just so amazing. And the funny thing is that it didn't feel like Christmas until they added the jingle bells.
Ching, 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 ching,
So how important is that? Is it the instruments? Is it the lyrics? Is it the chord changes, which is what we're going to explore here today?
I think it's a combination of all of those things. There's a whole bunch of ingredients that go to make something sound like a Christmas carol.
Yeah.
I think probably the one that I think of the most when I think kind of the classic ingredients to a Christmas carol is In the Bleak Midwinter.
I don't even know that.
And that's the song that really got me thinking about the chord changes to that song and why for me it's so evocative of winter. It makes me instantly think of winter, other than the fact the word winter is in the freaking lyrics. In the bleak mid freaking winter. I mean, big clue there. It's not in the bleak midsummer.
Right.
Or the bleak mid Easter.
Right, exactly.
It's like if you take away the word winter, if we were going to be, lyric police and take away the word winter from In the Bleak Midwinter and turn it into something else, In the Bleak Mid, I don't know, toilet.
We always go there. What the heck?
In the Bleak Mid bathroom visit. It would have a totally different vibe to it, other than we've substituted the word winter for that. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
We're kind of drifting a little bit, but what I'm trying to say is there's lots of things that suggest and get your mind open to kind of the suggestions of things that make up a kind of winter or Christmas kind of atmosphere. And those are the things that make you think about classic Christmas carols and that get you really in the mood for Christmas.
Right.
Now, In Bleak Midwinter is one of those songs where it's essentially a 1-6-2-5-1 song. But it's the chord 6 that for me is really interesting and evocative, because it doesn't do what you think it does. And the reason is because there is a suspension in the melody. And it's that suspension and the chord that goes with it, to me, that makes me think that it is most evocative of winter. Now, the cool thing is that when you go to chord 6 in this song, In the Bleak Midwinter, it is on the word winter. So it's instantly evocative because it's a suspension. So it provides a little bit of tension, a little bit of melancholy. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is kind of where we talk about, all of these ingredients coming together to make the whole thing work.
Right.
And I think this is one of those times where the melody and the chord changes, the harmony, really help underpin the words of the song. And I'm sure you'll find that there are other Christmas songs that do this, but In the Bleak Midwinter, I think, is a particularly good example of it. So if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like how's the next bit go? Hang on. So that's the first part of the verse.
Okay.
So it starts off with chord 1, and then we go to chord 6, but we don't go to chord 6 minor, which is what you would expect, because the melody goes to the E, which is the second degree of the scale in D major, and it holds on that before it resolves. So you get so it stays on that E, and then it finally resolves, which is why you get this B11 chord. And then it goes to the B minor, and then we go chord 2 to chord 5, and then we go round that again. So it's perfect for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a 1-6-2-5-1 chord progression. Number 2, it is an AABA form for the song, because you get the middle section where which is a little bit different. So you get then we go to the minor. Yeah, I have to try and think how this goes. And then you go back to the A section again. And that is how each verse is structured for the song. So it's basically an AABA form, which is the classic song form that everybody uses. Thousands of songs have been written using those chord changes and in that form, where you repeat the A section, then you have a B, and then you go back to the A again. It's your classic 32-bar AABA form. And so for me personally, it is perfect. From a song point of view. But for me, what makes it really evocative is this 11th chord. It's beautiful, and you don't expect it. You would maybe expect but it's not the B flat minor. It's B flat 11 to B flat minor. And that's what, for me, makes it really kind of, it stands out. It's you don't expect it. So for me, that's what makes it a particularly beautiful.
Now I have to say, I am not familiar with that Christmas song.
It may be one of those ones that is born out of the English folk tradition, which is probably why you've not heard of it.
Yeah, so when you said the name, I'm like, okay, I'm sure I'm gonna recognize it once he starts playing it. But I don't. I mean, it sounds like a cool song. Na 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 na. I mean, I like the way you played it. But I don't recognize it. I can't believe that I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it. I don't think it's necessarily one of those internationally well-known ones. Unlike, Jingle Bells. And I'm saying that just because I like saying Jingle Bells in season, out of season, every season. Even in the middle of the summer, I'll just say
Jingle bells, jingle
Jingle
bells.
Bells.
I get a kick out of
Oh,
some of the comments in the chat about people saying, well, we don't have snow here and we don't have sleighs and everything like that. I get that. I get that. We're just talking about what, Christmas songs, just,
uh, I know you
it's,
kind of
it's
drew
just,
attention to what Mika said there, but he kind of does have a little bit of a point.
I
Not that I'm wanting
know.
to get political about this,
Right. I know. I
but
just,
what I do want to say is that there is definitely a Northern Hemisphere bias when it comes to Christmas songs and kind of the Christmas atmosphere, if you like. It's all based around winter. Now, there is a good historical reason for that, and that is the story of St. Nicholas, around which Christmas is entirely based,
right.
is Northern Hemisphere, because St. Nicholas uh, was a guy who lived in probably the Scandinavian area of Western Europe. So in the winter, it is extremely cold. And at the time that St. Nicholas was around, it was in the time where there was extreme poverty in certain parts of Europe at that time, and that's what kind of got Nicholas, it got Nicholas thinking about what can I do? What can I
Oh,
do to alleviate some of the poverty around here? And that's why he started going around in secret, just delivering presents
right,
that he made.
exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah, no, we know that the earth is round, Mika, and nobody said that, no, saying that is political. Just, don't be so sensitive, for crying out loud.
yeah, and it's kind of we're drifting off topic.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we definitely are. So, all right, so so that song that you just played doesn't really have what I would think are Christmas chord changes.
well, you're right in it's not what you would call a traditional Christmas carol, because um it really talks about kind of Christmas and Christmas things like Jesus. It talks about that kind of in the passive voices, not necessarily referring to those things, in the active voice. So it's not necessarily, it hasn't got Jesus necessarily completely front and center. It's kind
Sure.
of talking about it in
Sure.
passing.
Right.
It's basically to capture that atmosphere. So I like it. It's a good song.
Yeah.
And I like the melody because the melody is really, really simple.
Well, I like the fact that it's not a traditional chord
Yeah.
change, that it's not, it's something a little bit more interesting. As I've heard so many Christmas songs that almost have an old rock and roll kind of chord change, where it's E, F, G, and then back again and things like that, or just a roundabout kind of thing. So that's why I was kind of,
You mean like Silent Night? Because Silent Night,
oh, I know, yes. Yes.
Silent Night, although it's in 3/4, you can do all sorts of interesting things to Silent Night.
Right.
It's one of those songs you can twist, you can turn, you can shape, you can mold it, you can make it whatever you want. Silent Night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round on Virgin Mother and Child. You can jazz it up as much
Oh,
as you want.
sure. Yeah, that sounded good, actually.
Oh, you can do whatever you want with it, or you can be, really kind of, silent night, holy night.
2, 3.
So you can be really kind of straight about it, or you can, you know, silent night,
That's cool.
holy night, all is calm, all is bright, and so on and so forth. So you
Right.
can put it into 4/4. You can add in a few extra funky chord changes, and it's still Silent Night. It's
Yeah.
maybe slightly less silent, but certainly very night.
Keith Chadwick says, I feel like I'm at the mall.
Well, I mean, that kind of maybe takes
Yeah,
it to
it
that
totally
kind.
does. It totally does. And I think,
I mean,
think
you know, if you're
it's
Christmas
great.
shopping and you're in one of those mega malls that's got like a 16 floor elevator and you're
Right,
at the
right.
bottom, you know that you've got to go and get, you know, the attractive lingerie for your wife for Christmas, and lingerie's at the top of the shop at 16th floor. So you've got to listen to elevator music, right? So how about Silent Night, Holy Night?
Oh, that's great. Well, that's great. So can you, so can you write a dark Christmas song? I knew he's gonna go right to it.
Silent Night. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think
Silent
that
Night.
exactly. You know, just like that. But you know, it's so funny because if you listen to a lot of the, I don't know if there's really any new Christmas songs coming out lately, but there's like cool twists on traditional, you know, Christmas songs. What was what's the one I've seen all over YouTube lately because it's like so controversial, the song Santa Baby or songs like that, or the other one, it's Cold Outside. I saw oh baby it's cold outside.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I saw I saw a great video from a comedian who compared that to, he says, okay, so if that one can be banned from the radio, and I can't remember the name of the artist, and I can't say the name of the song on this show, but but he compared the two, and he's like, why was this one banned and this one allowed, you know, to be played, and things like that. So my question to you is, are there any obscure Christmas songs that you know that maybe some of us might not be familiar with?
Oh, pretty much any time Cliff Richard puts out a Christmas single, only 6 people have heard of it.
Cliff Richard, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
really? Did he put out a Christmas album this year?
No, I think he has. I think this is his 3rd attempt at retiring.
Oh,
He's like, he must be what, 81 or something now.
yeah, he can't be. I mean, he wasn't. Let's see. So yeah, he was pretty much into his career, you know, when I was a kid and stuff. I remember the song Dreamin' from the
Yep.
80s. It was my favorite song back then. But I didn't realize he put out Christmas albums. So
Oh yeah, he's put out several. Um
that's
and
it.
I think a couple of them were good, and a couple of them were just so cheesy. He may as well have just, you know, got a block of Parmesan cheese and branded it and sold that. You know.
Right. Exactly. Oh yes, and the name of the song that I can't say is called WAP. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, why is that okay to be on the air and not you know,
Unless it's referring to like a kitten.
yeah.
in which case, fair enough.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just so weird where we are now.
I mean,
With our
that song could be interpreted to be talking about drowning one's cat.
yes, it could be, but let's not go any deeper with that. But
No, we'll leave that one.
but yeah, right. But it's my point to even bringing that up is, you recognize certain songs that you grew up with, and you recognize as a kid what it meant, as a kid, which was no big deal. And then as you get to be an adult, you start to see the different meanings that are in some of these things. And but for songs like for Christmas and everything like that, whenever I go to the mall, like my daughter's birthday was the 12th of this month. She is 18.
Oh, good Lord.
And when my mom passed away, she left her car to Amanda, to my daughter.
Awesome.
So for her birthday, I gave her a bag with a little stuffed animal, and attached to the stuffed animal were the car keys. She went nuts. It is a very old car, but she loved it just the same. Now she doesn't have her license yet, but she is going to learn how to drive in that car, and now she's looking forward to getting her license and stuff now that she actually has a car, which is something I never thought I'd be able to give either of my kids. Now my son is getting my dad's van. My dad can no longer drive, and so my dad said, here it is. Give it, so I'm giving my kids 2 fully paid for cars. Now, granted, they're old, and they've got dents and dings and stuff like that, but my point to that is we called it a Christmas/birthday gift for her, and she absolutely loved it. So, for gosh, I lost the rest of my point.
That's all right. I do that on a regular basis.
Oh, so yeah. Okay, so with people from her generation, okay, she's 18 now. What Christmas? I don't know if anybody in the chat knows the answer to this. I'd really like to know. What Christmas songs are kids familiar with today?
That's a really good question. It's a tough question.
It is. It totally is.
It's a tough one because for as much as I think there's still a pretty strong tradition for, the traditional carols, I think the hard part is making them more and more culturally relevant to younger people.
Sure.
That's the hard part. Now there's things you can do. You can jazz them up. You can rearrange the carol to make it fit, a more contemporary style, or a style of music that kids are going to be, young, 18 to 21 age kids are going to be into.
Right.
You can certainly do that, and I have done that.
Right.
And I've done several Christmas shows where we've done carols in very non-traditional styles. We did. There was one year where we decided that because we had like 2 feet of snow in Edinburgh, we decided let's not focus on the snow. Let's imagine that we're on a Caribbean island. So we did the church up completely like a Caribbean island. We hired a whole load of sand, the works. And the fun part about that was we had these trucks pulling up at the church with these loads of sand, and they're just looking really perplexed, going, what do you need all this sand for? It's like, are you like gritting the roads? Or no, we're not gritting the roads. This is for a Christmas show. And the look of perplexion got even worse. And I was like, what do you need sand for a Christmas show? And which, of course, opens a door to kind of explaining what our intention was, and that we're going to completely make everything, all the carols, we're going to be, there's still Christmas carols and everything, but the whole thing is going to be set on a Caribbean island. So, kind of like we kind of amalgamated elements of Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, and we just kind of pulled all of those elements of those islands. So we basically created a generic Caribbean island.
Right.
our church sanctuary, and then everything was done in that way, and everyone wore the loudest shirts and Bermuda shorts, the works, as a costume. And so we did everything with kind of Jamaican rhythms and
Oh, nice.
Trinidadian rhythms. So we did some reggae versions of carols, we did soca, we did all of that. We had steel drums, it was great. It was the complete antithesis to kind of like carols at King's, which would be, King's Cathedral in Cambridge, where you've got like the boys' choir and everything else.
Right.
And it just worked perfectly, and
Right.
everybody loved it, and it took everybody's mind off the fact that we had 2 feet of snow sat outside, which by the end of the show was 4 feet of snow. So
Yeah. Okay. I remember my point now that I was going to make. So at this Christmas show that my daughter's school put on with all of the different bands, the freshmen, the sophomore, the junior, the senior bands, everything from the percussion to the vocal groups and things like that. One of the things that surprised me was the amount of old school religious songs that all of the different bands played. Now, I know that some of these kids probably didn't even know about any of these songs until they were asked to sing them. And boy,
yeah.
I got to tell you, they did an unbelievable job. They did an unbelievable job with these songs, and they all sounded perfect. They all sounded like they've been singing these songs for years and things like that. And I was just amazed at, with all of the diversity happening across the schools these days, that they did so many religious songs, from the old days. And I just thought, how many of these kids actually heard some of these songs before they sang them? And,
Yep.
it was just so beautiful the way that they did it, the way they did all the different performances. And then at the very end, they had all of the different band sections up there, percussion, orchestral, and the vocal group, and the freshmen and sophomore, bands and stuff. And they all played two songs all together. So you've got 3 or 4 different conductors
hmm
up, and they're facing their groups. It was divided into 3, and but all the conductors are looking at each other every once in a while to make sure that nobody's off. And it was just so amazing to see to see some of these kids doing some of these songs, which, with a lot of what's going on in the world and stuff, I thought might be a problem. But it was, at least for our schools out here, it doesn't seem to be a problem. And I just thought it was great to see that no matter what your belief is and everything, you were up there singing these songs. It kind of restored my faith in humanity just a little bit, with all the craziness happening in the world. So, I think the question was asked a little bit earlier. If you got a beginner songwriter or a beginner musician to play a Christmas song, and actually this question comes from Rebecca over on Wix, what would you suggest be the first Christmas song they learn?
I would say something. I would say something very simple. Um, uh, you can do something. You can do a couple of tunes. You can do "Joy to the World," because the great thing about "Joy to the World" is it's just a major scale descending. That's just a G major scale going down from G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, E, E. And that's a really triumphant sound, especially if you play it all over one chord. And then go. Now the cool thing about that is, that's all based around just chord 1, chord 4, chord 5. Joy to the world. I'm so crap at carols. It's only got 3 chords in it. You can do it easy.
Okay, so that's a great suggestion.
So Joy to the World, and of course Silent Night, because again, it's only got 3 chords.
Right.
Yeah, played it earlier. Silent Night, or Silent Night.
You sounded like Grover from Sesame Street.
Silent Night.
Silent Night. Nice. All right, cool. Let's see. We've got 20 people in here, and the chat is doing well. Let's see. Let me go.
And then there is Jingle Bells. But
yes, there is. Yeah, Jingle Bells.
Kind of
Jingle
keep
Bells.
that to one side.
How many chords are in Jingle Bells? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in 107.
Hang on. What key is that in? Is that another one that's in G?
I think so. Or maybe it's C.
There you go.
So Tony Cardona says, can you use crap and carols in the same sentence? I'm sure you
Jingle bells, crappy bells.
Right, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. There we go. That's my favorite one. It's not even a Christmas song. All right, so anyway, Bob Studio says, lovely. All right, let's see. So we've got 19 people. We got 13 likes. If you guys could, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit or slap that like button. Yes, whoosh. Follow Johnny's example, but just be more gentle. And hit that button there. All right, so there's a couple of questions over on Wix.
Yep.
Let me get the third. No, this would be the third one because I've already gone through 2 of them. Let's see. When it comes to Christmas songs, oh, this is interesting. Is there any Christmas song that you can't play on a certain instrument? Just curious. Okay, that's from Leon over on Wix.
That's a great question, and I would say probably unlikely.
Okay.
And the reason why I'd say that is because Christmas carols are certainly the traditional ones.
Yeah.
Are written for congregational singing. So
okay.
they're designed to have either a keyboard, a pipe organ, or a guitar or a band accompaniment. So they're designed that way. So they're and so I mean, Joy to the World is a fine example. It's got a range of 1 octave, which is actually quite big for a congregational song.
Sure.
Congregational songs tend to have a range of a major 6, say from G to E. That's probably about as high as it goes. But Joy to the World doesn't do that. It has a range of a whole octave. But they're simple to play because they tend to only have 3 chords. And, playing in the key of G is nice and easy for guitar. And it's just as easy on a keyboard instrument. However, there are, there's songs from Handel's Messiah, which I would argue are probably much more complex and less easy to play on a keyboard instrument. But it's possible. And I would never recommend playing Christmas carols on a banjo. And I certainly would never recommend playing Christmas carols on bagpipes.
You knew I was going to go there. On bagpipes, exactly. Now, I got to ask, can you play Jingle Bells on a bagpipe?
I bet my neighbor can. And he is a bagpiper.
Yeah, you've told us that he goes out walking with them sometimes too.
Yeah, he does. I'm not sure that he feeds them, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's an interesting question because, most people would like to play a Christmas song or two. I couldn't imagine playing an instrument that you couldn't play it on. You couldn't play a
Yeah, I think
Christmas song.
I think you probably could. Um, yeah, I don't think there's very many that I think, maybe some of the less traditional ones or the more modern and contemporary ones, they might be a little harder to play, but traditional ones, they're written to be easy to play.
Guy,
Even though I couldn't play in the bleak midwinter.
yeah,
So,
Kyle says as long as he cleans up after them. Yeah, there we go.
well, yes, exactly.
Bagpipe droppings. I don't think
Poop,
that's a thing. I don't think that's a
pooper scooper.
thing. Exactly. All right, let's see. Okay, here's a real simple question. This one's for you, Johnny. This is from Dolores over on Wix, and she says, Johnny, have you ever written your own original Christmas song?
Yeah, I did actually. I wrote a Christmas show actually
You
many years
wrote a
ago.
Christmas show? Was
Ye-
were all the songs original?
yes.
Oh, really? Is there anywhere we can see that?
No, it would be
Ah,
1997,
oh,
1998. I did that, and I did that for my university.
oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, somebody said, "I bet you couldn't write a show." This is like one of the drama students. We're having some disagreement about performing artists like people that are in musical theater versus jazz musicians like me. And he was just trying to make the argument that I'm a slumming it jazz musician, I just improvise,
Oh, wow.
versus being in musical theater and all of that. And he said, and he was just like, I bet you couldn't write a show. I said, you know what, we got Christmas coming up, I'm going to write a Christmas show and you are going to cast it.
Yes.
And
What
so we
were
did. So he was the casting director. He cast the show. I wrote the songs, and he did some of the script, and it worked out really really well. And I won my bet, and he gave me £200.
Oh, that's
It's just like,
awesome.
okay,
That's
fair enough.
awesome.
He goes,
And
he goes, fair enough. You can write a show,
okay.
but you're
Wow.
still a slumming it jazz musician. You
Right.
just
You're just a slumming it jazz musician that can write a song.
And it's just like, there you go. I just wrote a whole flipping Christmas show with
Well, his
every
challenge.
possible, with every possible musical theater cliche that I lifted from Andrew Lloyd Webber in those
Nice.
songs. I made sure to put one
Nice.
cliche into every song.
Wow. That's cool. But I think
I just at him.
his challenge was just to write a song, right? Not a whole show, right?
Yeah, well, I wanted to put him in his place.
Yeah, well, I would say he's still sitting there to this very day in that case.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's pretty cool. All right, 22 people, 15 likes. There's 5, 6, 7 people who don't like what's happening here. So if you could please hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. All right, that sounds good. All right, let's see. Any more questions here in the chat? Somebody said, I can't find a good sample of snow. I don't think snow falling has a sound like
Yeah,
rain does, but
yeah, you're not really going to hear it unless it's like, unless it's
a blizzard,
like snow.
right? Unless it's a blizzard. So I
You
suppose you could do that, but rain falling you can hear, snow falling if you can hear it, you're Superman. So there you go.
I suppose you could maybe turn, that song "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head."
Oh God, no! What?
Turn that into something, about snow.
Snowballs keep falling on my head.
And
Now
that because my kids are dropping them from the window on to my lovely head.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. Good tune. Snow Lizard. Snow Lizard? There's a song called Snow Lizard? Be wary, be worried of angels with angles.
Angles. Yeah, don't get those two mixed up.
Yeah. Beware. You could end up in a lot of pain. There we go. That sounds good.
And
All right.
behold, the
Yeah.
angles appeared.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's see. 21 people, 18 likes. Thank you.
Sky.
Christmas wrapping. I could not. Oh gosh, is there a Christmas rap song?
Oh, there's got to be somebody's got to have done one.
Somebody, yeah, somebody. I never thought of that. Of course, you don't need.
That said, though, I do Christmas wrapping every year.
Oh, yeah, that's rapping with a W. But thank you. Ooh, that came through the mic pretty good too.
All that compression.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. So there's no questions here. That is a song? What is a song? That is a song by Cliff Richard.
It's not. I guess he's referring to Snow Lizard.
Snow Lizard.
We have no knowledge of whatsoever.
Yes, exactly. So, Kyle, since you have the power, find it on YouTube and post a link so we can.
Yes, please do.
Hear the song "Snow Lizard." Sounds very cool.
Oh, Christmas wrapping is a song. Okay.
Oh,
Is it?
Nice. Christmas.
I mean,
wrapping.
there's not much imagination in the title there.
Yeah. Exactly.
I suppose you could use the same material again for Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Easter wrap,
You could do that, and of course, he posted a fact, and I thought it was a question, so that actually works. Thank you, Kyle.
Or Hanukkah wrapping.
Yeah, Hanukkah wrapping. Exactly. Let's see. Effing Awesome is talking to Kyle. He says, if you do any Christmas wrapping, be sure to tape it. Okay.
Oh, there's a link there as well.
There we go. All right. I'm not going to click on that link, but for those of you that are interested, please see the link.
Yeah, go check that out after the show.
Yeah, not during the show. We still got about 10 minutes left. All right, I'm going to go back to Wix. We got like 6 people over on Wix, and my iPad just shut off.
That's going to help.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like I needed to charge it.
So, unless I'm much mistaken, I think Buddy Holly put out a Christmas record one year.
Buddy Holly?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Actually, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, somebody needs to Google that and find out if that's correct, but I'm pretty
Buddy
sure.
Holly. Gosh, I wish I could play other YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I
Darn
could.
copyright strikes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. And I still have so far to go before I can monetize any of my videos. It's going to be over a year before I can monetize again.
Well, you've gone over one hurdle, which is the 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Yes,
well done.
thank you. I appreciate that.
The next challenge is to get to the 4,000 watch hours.
Right. And I'm actually looking.
That's the bit that takes a wee bit longer.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to see.
Took me a while.
At with that. Let's see. I gotta go to videos. Actually,
You've also got to have your 2-factor authentication turned on as well.
Monetize. Yeah, I've got that all done. Well, I'm at 2,265.
Oh, you're getting there. It won't actually take as long as you think. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe I got a chance.
Yeah, I think maybe kind of Q1 next year.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, providing you keep pushing your videos.
Well, you know what? I haven't released any videos in quite some time. I've been just doing all live streams right now because life has been such a juggling act recently. So.
Oh, yeah, I totally hear you.
Yeah, Neil Thompson says, now I've been chatting constantly off topic. Somebody slapped me. Not with a wrench. Yeah, no, don't worry.
See, at least he's admitting it.
Yes, exactly.
We'll let it go.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Billy Morgan just posted a link for the Boston meetup until 8 p.m. so that you guys can head over there after this show is done.
Yeah, that's an hour after the show.
Yeah, an hour after the show. Let's see. Mika Han says, good night to my friends. Also, good night to those who aren't my friends. Okay, I wouldn't think you wouldn't have anybody who's not your friend here, but I'm sure they say goodbye too. Tony Cardona says Yoko had a Christmas album called After the Screeching is Done, Santa Will Come. Oh, I could not. I could not imagine. You know what? I'll bet there are record labels out there paying Yoko Ono not to release any more songs.
Oh, yeah. And
Uh,
hope she does.
oh, man.
I
There
hope
you
she does
go.
not.
When Anonymous Housewife says, when one has a wrench, everyone looks like a nut. There you go. There you go. But not the wrenches in my group, because my wrench is bigger. So any abuse of that wrench will get crushed. Sorry, I had to say it. I had to say it. Mine's a ratchet. Tony Cardona says, been trying to
Don't be
message
swinging
you.
that thing around.
Oh, yeah. Easy. Anonymous Housewife is talking to Tony Cardona, says, been trying to message you. All right, so let's see. Effin' Awesome says, wrench envy. Yes, I think that's where we're headed now. There we go. Let's get blue here for the last 5 minutes of the...
How about Rocking Around the Christmas Tree?
Oh,
You heard that?
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. That's a great song.
Yeah, it is, and it's totally not traditional. Apart from at the very end, where it actually does quote Jingle Bells, hysterically quotes Jingle Bells.
Hysterically? Does it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
at the very end of it,
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
at the very, 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 very end of the song, on a nice, I think it's a Gretsch guitar. Sounds like a Gretsch anyway.
All right, let's see. Somebody named Brenda Lee wrote the song Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, original recording by Brenda Lee. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree was written by Johnny Marks. It was written by Johnny
right.
Marks. She
okay.
was the first one to do it.
Right.
In spite of her adult voice, Lee recorded the song when she was only 13 years old.
She doesn't sound 13 on the record.
No, she doesn't. No,
What a mature voice.
Yeah. It's got a couple of pictures here of her too on the record labels, and she looks a lot older than 13. That's cool.
So when was that released?
Let's see. Let me view all. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Let's see. It doesn't really say the results for who wrote Rockin' Around. Who's sang? What is the history?
Around the Christmas Tree. When was that released?
Maybe you can find it. I'm not seeing it in my search here.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree release date 1958.
Oh, 1958. Okay.
And I'm looking at and it was released on the Decca label, 1958.
Yes.
And I'm looking at the picture of Brenda Lee that's on the front cover, and she looks in the picture to be about 17 or 18,
Yeah.
but I don't doubt that she was maybe younger than that when she recorded it.
Yeah, I remember the song. I actually think I have it on one of the Christmas albums I got from my dad's collection. I brought home so many records from my dad's collection, mostly Davey, my brother. He actually collected most of the oldies, the actual albums by the full artist, as opposed to the ones that I added to my collection were the varied music ones. So, assorted artists like the old K-Tel records. But I've got a whole bunch from the 1950s and 1960s. And I would love to start a radio station and start playing some of those. Not just Christmas, all of these. And I was listening to some of the albums while I was been working over the last couple of days. I'll put a record on my turntable and I'll just listen to some of these songs. And many of them I don't know. But wow, what's some great tunes, especially on the 50s albums that I have. just stuff that I've never heard before and from artists that I'm familiar with, but have never really, dived into. And there's so much cool information on these record albums. They fold out most of them, and it's got a little blurb about, the artist and the song and when it was written and what label it was on and stuff like that. I would love to do a radio show with that stuff. Just to play it. But it's hard. You really can't do commercial music. Even if it's old, you really can't do it on YouTube.
Yeah, you have to get performance right and mechanical copyrights licenses to be able to do it, and those are not cheap.
No, they're not.
They are definitely
not.
You have to get all sorts of broadcast licenses, and you have to apply for lots of things. It's to just to set up, just to even like run a radio station for a week is like 4 months worth of paperwork.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, there are some sites that you can sign up and they take care of the copyrights, but with what you spend with them to do that, you've already spent all the money you made on the radio station.
Pretty much.
Neil Thompson says, I think a good 75% or more of the Christmas songs which get played on the radio are from the 20th century. Anything before that might be disappearing, and I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of true. I mean, some of the very traditional carols, are from like the 18th and 19th centuries, from that Victorian period. But a lot of recordings and a lot of popular Christmas period songs are definitely from the 1950s onwards. Actually, they're not just 20th century; they're mid 20th century and onwards.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so it is getting to that point now that we are, we're fast approaching 2023, so we're almost at the end of the first quarter of the 21st century.
Jeez, already?
Think about that, and think about, we've just been talking about songs in the 1950s. And think about how long ago that is now.
That's incredible to think that we're already almost that far through it. Somebody's trying to reach me.
Yeah, me too. And I think they're telling us it's the same thing. The Massachusetts meetup started 1 hour ago, apparently.
Okay, that sounds good. It's 7 o'clock anyway, so let's get going. Johnny, thank you again for all of your knowledge and some of the cool songs you played.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
And the Christmas records he made in the 1940s. Like, I think 1947, 48, there were a couple of...
I felt that you were just about to say Bill Cosby. I
nearly said Bill. And
yeah,
not Bing.
I know.
And it's just like, no, it's
Bing Crosby. Let's not go there.
Yeah,
so anyway,
let's not get those two dudes mixed up. Yeah.
All right, so Johnny, say goodbye to the folks as only Johnny Lipsham can.
Merry Christmas, guys. Have a lot of fun.
That's way too much reverb.
I like the accent, though.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it? It's my Rich Cresswell will be proud. It's my kind of Wolverhampton, kind of Birmingham kind of accent. He's from that area. Except he doesn't sound quite like that.
No, he doesn't.
It's not as strong, but...
Oh, gosh. I love accents. All right. That sounds good. All right, Johnny. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you in a week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Johnny Lipsham is gone, and I am here. And I want to thank everybody for coming in. We had a total of 42 in here tonight, and we got 21 likes out of it. Excellent. So thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully the subject matter was to your liking. We're going to do a little bit more Christmas stuff for next Songwriting Simplified, which is next week, and then it is Christmas. So hopefully you guys... Hopefully you guys will join us. All right, guys, have a good one. Have a good weekend. Tomorrow I will be doing Studio One tips and tricks and then the Saturday show. So you guys make sure that you have a good night. I will see you soon. Later.
You need help with Studio One? Well, Home Studio Trainer's YouTube live stream is here to help you with Studio One beginner tips and tricks. Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. Subscribe now, it's free. HST Home Studio Trainer is here to help you bring your music to the world. Is Studio One filled with mysteries in your mind? Well, we can help unlock those mysteries on Saturday nights at midnight. Join us for the HST Home Studio Trainer Midnight Live Stream as we investigate and solve as many mysteries as possible. HST Home Studio Trainer, helping each other make music together.